Fashionphile issues another policy change? Say what? Time for another coffee break. What's up, my friends? Tanya here. Thanks for tuning in. If you like luxury but don't like the price, then you've come to the right place. Here you'll get weekly videos from me every Wednesday where I share my latest strategies in shopping and how you too can build a collection of your own. We all work hard and deserve nice things, so let's make this a fun place, best information, and to save for that big splurge day. But before we dive in, be sure to tap on that subscribe button down there. That subscribe button, make sure you give that button a little dap, just like that. Did you do it? Yeah, so now you'll never miss out on any of my luxury finds. So, Fashionphile. I received an email from them about a week ago, well, within the past week, stating that there is another policy change. I mean, I don't know what we're supposed to think. Now, are updating policies necessarily a bad thing? No, I mean, I often find it to be a necessary evil. However, this change is also at the expense of, you guessed it, the consumer. Now, for those that missed, Fashionphile just issued another major policy change back in July. So be sure to go back and watch my video, the Why, What, and Where to Pre-Love Luxury, where I talk about that policy, and it'll bring you up to date. So here we are, 2 months later, and they are issuing yet another major policy. It's now known as their refresh program. The change is specific to pricing. So in the past, you could purchase an item from Fashionphile, and then if you decided like within 3 months you wanted to return it, and there's lots of reasons why people return items like that, you could return it for 75% of the purchase price of what you paid when you bought that item. Of course, there were contingencies like the condition of the item and so forth, you know, to be expected contingencies. So that kind of goes without saying. It is a nice option, and some viewed this as a great alternative to a rental program. There are some companies out there that where you can do like a bag a month program. Fashionphile offers to buy your item outright. Meaning, so if you decide, okay, I want to get rid of a purse or an item, and you want to do it on consignment, okay? Well, when you consign, the company takes a commission of the final sale price, right? Well, at Fashionphile, it's kind of the same strategy. However, Fashionphile offers you money up front, so you have your payout immediately. Now, some people frown upon Fashionphile's quotes. They say that they lowball the consumer on what the item is worth, and I'm gonna have to play a little bit of a devil's advocate there because Fashionphile is at the end of the day a for-profit business, and just like for-profit suggests, they're in the business of making a profit. So when they offer the buyout, they are keeping in mind of their strategy they use in place to sell their items. And their strategy a lot of times relies on discounts or promo codes. So they have to keep in mind when they're offering you a buyout amount that there has to be a buffer between how much they offer you to what historically their records show might be the final sale price. Because more than likely when they list that item, it's not going to sell that next day. It's going to take a while. And they have a strategy in place where if it sits for so long, that's when they start to issue a percentage discount. They also run various different types of promotions throughout the year for the customer. So all of that has to be in consideration. Well, when you consign, more than likely that company does the same type of strategy, but you're just not seeing it immediately because you're waiting for your payout. So when you consign, your item is with the organization and it's not going to sell right away, then that company depending on what the company is, but a lot of them are under the same sales strategy. Well, they offer discounts or promos, and then your item finally sells. So then you get your buyout. They keep their percentage, which is their commission, rightfully so. That's how they make their money, and it covers all their overhead costs. And then they give you the percentage that was agreed upon that you get on the final sale. So it doesn't seem like it, but it's kind of like, I mean, there's not really a difference. It's just that one is you're getting your money up front versus the other, you don't get it until the final sale goes through. And oftentimes, I think it might be the same. So, I don't know. You'll have to weigh it, maybe do some comparisons. Okay, and remember, everything I say here is my opinion. Okay, everything that I share with you or disclose with you is always my opinion, and this new refresh program that I'm going through is my interpretation of the policy and terms that they sent to me in my email. Now, if you go through the terms and you have a different interpretation, please share it with me. That's what we're here for. We're here to share opinions and share information. So back to the refresh program. Okay, before you could sell an item back within 3 months, and you would get 75% of your purchase price. If you waited 4 to 6 months, then you would get 70%, and then 6 to 12 months, it would reduce down to 65%. They also offer a store credit, which is great because that increases, you get a 10% bonus. So if you're in the market for immediate turnaround to buy a new bag, I might take the store credit because you could get up to 85% if you're doing this within 3 months, and that amount can be applied to your new purchase. I don't know. To me, that's not a bad trade-off. Now, let me put my cup down here. According to the new policy, and I have it here so I don't get anything mixed up. The new policy is still the refresh program, but now they have an item eligibility section. And so it says all items purchased from Fashionphile are eligible for the refresh program with the following exceptions. So now there's exceptions. Okay, so any item with an original purchase price of less than $400. I can understand that. I mean, under $400, after all the legwork that goes with it, the overhead, is it really worth it? So I don't know that I'm upset about that exclusion. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious what you think. Just let me know. The next exclusion is no shoes and sunglasses. They're no longer eligible. Items that suffered excessive wear or damage after purchase from Fashionphile. Well, I feel like that goes unsaid. Items from companies or sellers other than Fashionphile. Okay, so that's a good reminder. I forgot to mention that in the old refresh program, if you purchased an item from another reseller, Fashionphile would accept that in their refresh program. I'm not familiar with what the guidelines are, so that's something you could look up. But now, I guess it's irrelevant now because they're no longer accepting that. And then their last exclusion is any item that is no longer within the refresh program time period. Anything that's not eligible. Now they still offer the buyout option, meaning you can just sell your item outright to Fashionphile. But right now we're talking about the refresh program. But they do still offer the buyout. So if any of your items are in the exclusion list, or if you don't meet the timeline, you can still choose to just send in an item send it in, they give a quote, and if you accept it, then they just purchase it from you, and then they're gonna sell it however they sell it. So now for the timeline, they're still doing like 0 to 3 months, 4 to 6 months, and 7 to 12 months, but now there's tiers. First option is, I guess this is the luxury of luxury. It says, who's included in this is Hermes, Chanel, Cartier, Rolex, Van Cleef. Okay, all right. So this only has 2 time periods: 0 to 3 months at 65%. Now remember before 75% across the board on 0 to 3 months. So now on the luxury of luxury, it's 0 to 3 months, 65%, and then they just do 4 to 12 months, I guess, because the luxury of luxury carries more value. Is at 60%. So then all other brands not listed above. So from 0 to 3 months, it's 65%, 4 to 6 months, it's 60%, and 7 to 12 months, it's 55%. So that's a 10% decrease across the board. 10%, okay? They do still offer their in-store credit program to where you get the 10% bonus. So that just bumps you up to where you were before. But this is a 10% decrease. That's a substantial change. Now, for me personally, I'm not affected by this change because I've never participated in this program, nor do I ever plan to participate in this program. I just don't, it's not there for me. There's no value in it for me. However, for others, this is a great option, and it might be enticing or invaluable to some. So what I say is, if this is a program that you're interested in, this is information that you should digest and maybe weigh your options now. Because a 10% decrease across the board is a lot. So this might not be your best option anymore. I would just weigh the different options out there and decide, okay, is the refresh program really at the end of the day, a better payout versus doing a buyout or consigning or just selling on my own? What are your thoughts on this new policy change? I'd like to know what your overall thoughts are on 2 major policy changes within a 2-month period. I would love to have an open dialogue about this in the comment section, so please drop your comments below. Don't forget to be on the lookout for my future videos. We have so many topics to cover here. I mean, we are just scratching the surface. In addition, I'm going to review bags that I reveal to you. I'm going to share what works, what doesn't, how practical the bags really are. I'm also going to share my personal tips and tricks on how I find all of my deals. So be sure to stay tuned in. If you've made it this far and you still have not subscribed, please give that subscribe button some love and tap the bell notification so you never miss out on any of these videos. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you in the next deal hunt. And be sure to please give this video a thumbs up. It truly helps. Bye for now.